Hello everyone, this has been Jammin from Jammin Studios. I hope you're all having a great day. Welcome back to another devlog. This is 8-bit powers in the 2D version. I do also have a 3D version that I've been semi-working on, but I realized Blender is a lot more work than I was anticipating, so I came back to the 2D one since it's not really fully complete yet as of getting the base down before actually spreading out and going and doing other things with this game. So I just wanted to give you a quick little update as what I've done so far. So if I hit play, this has all stayed the same from the last devlog that I did, but we're just going to stick with the 3v3 small just so I can show off the things that I've accomplished so far. So we have Fire Wizard, Archer, Swordsman still, just the three main guys. We can choose whichever order we want, and if we don't like it, all we have to do is hit that change slot. Don't like the Archer there in that second slot, so we're just going to go ahead, put him in our first one. So if we hit both of these, it takes these guys out. Now if we hit Archer, Archer's going to be in the first one, Swordsman's going to be in the second one. We hit done, and the same thing over here, but doesn't really matter what order we got them in. So let's hit done again, and we can start the game. Right away, you can see that there is a new look to this game. I had the buttons down here on the right, now it's down here in the middle. We got the health over here. It did have every single person over here on the left. You could see their health at all times and even showed the damage numbers whenever you got attacked. That is not the case anymore. You just see who's up, this little icon here, and the color as well. You also see their health, what health they're at according to their max health. And right below that, you're not going to see it just yet, but I can show it off later, that they have extra damage. So this would be fire, poison, shock, and bleed would just be down here. And there would also be another little icon with the Ember Blast for the Fire Wizard. I've added personal little abilities to each of these guys, and his personal ability has to do with the Ember Blast. And it will actually create more, it would be a better output of damage for each of these two, the Fireball and Flame, not really the Lava Pool. These would, that little thing, when you activate the Ember Blast, would create more damage for the Fireball and Flame, and you can see a little icon down here to kind of tell you how long you have left with that. And then you have three movements. It shows you how many moves you have and what mode we're in. So we have movement and turning. And then there's also a quote unquote trap one that is really about placing down your lava pool. Or I can show you here soon the poison cloud for the archer. And then the second thing that's pretty noticeable would be the little squares, the square around the fire wizard. Since he's up right now, you can see that there's a little arrow on the square. That's really for which direction they're facing. So the red characters are always facing right at the start, and the blue characters are always facing left. And so this just really helps show. So I'm just going to move up, left, down, just start moving this around, and you can see that's the way they're facing. It can be even easier to show the third thing that is pretty noticeable is if we hover over these buttons here, you can see that some squares pop up, and that indicates the range of the attack. So if we move over, let's show up first. So if I go up, you see that he's now aiming up, and that there's squares that highlight that his range for the fireball. Now instead, let's go to the right and let's look up again. And you can see that there's no more squares highlighted because the stones are stopping. And if we show off one more time, movement going up, and we go over the fireball, you can see that the square does pop up, but stops at the stone and does not continue after that. And that's the main things that already stick out right there to basically show. The other things that are a little behind would be the personal abilities, and I did create a new attack for the Swordsman, which I will show off. So if we press enter, we have now our archer, and here's that poison cloud. This would basically be in the trap thing. We're just moving stuff around, not the characters. That's what essentially the trap means. But he got a new ability when we use the smoke bomb. We go invisible, and now the next turn, if we are still invisible, we create a cloaked damage. So it's a damage boost to our arrow and dagger, but not poison cloud or smoke bomb. So if we hit the smoke bomb here, you can see that everything disappears. I have not moved the character, and you can see that his health above his head and his XP above his head are disappearing. I can see, I'll show you that it does work on the swordsman, but not on the other guy. I have not moved him. You would have seen it by now. And it does work on the other archer, just to show that you cannot see his health. Even if you hover over him, you're not going to find out where he is. So I'm just going to leave him where he's at. I didn't move him. As you can see, the 3 stayed there. So I'm not going to move him. I'm going to press enter again and start moving this dude down here. Yeah, we'll just move him right there then. And then I can show you what it would be like when they do get attacked. You know what? Let's show that off. Let's show that off right here then. So he's going invisible. He's staying right there. I'm just gonna move the fire wizard out of the way. So we hit that, and now our swordsman's come into play. So his little new ability has to do with the shield. But I will show that in just a sec as I show off the new slash ability. I can't really, attack somebody here. But this new slash ability, you can see strikes in front and behind him, whichever way he's facing. The sword does about 10 damage. The slash divvies up that 10 damage, so it'd be 5 and 5 to each square. The other thing that it does, and it the other thing that it does is it adds in that new extra damage that I mentioned earlier, which is bleed. So it does the 5 damage on that turn and sets them to bleed for the next one. So it will do 10 damage on each square overall. It's just when does it do that 10 damage? The shield then, going to the personal ability now that I will show off. The shield, so if we hit shield, we will then take no damage at all for this turn unless we already have those extra damages, which you see down here in the bottom left. And when our next turn arises, he will have a he'll have +1 movement and deal more damage with his sword attack. Not the slash attack, but the sword attack. The sword attack will deal more damage. It'll deal pretty much +5, as I have written it down as +5 for the sword. Again, these numbers and all can change, but the baseline is he is going to do more damage with the sword. So we hit enter, we just move on. I guess we can bring him down to play. We can bring this guy down to play. There's nothing really new with the fire wizard. It's more of just the swordsman and the archer for this one. And so this guy, I'm just going to move up and out of the way so that we can see the archer come out to play. So now he had a full turn of invisibility. No one's attacked him. And so you can see that he's just visible to kind of show you, hey, he's still invisible. And he has this cloaked damage added to his 2 attacks here, the arrow and the dagger. Now, if you remember, we have an archer just right over here in his lane who is invisible. Now, if we attack him, he will no longer be invisible. Both of them will be invisible since our archer is attacking and this other archer is getting attacked. They will no longer be invisible, which means that the red archer will not have the same cloaked damage, the same damage output as this other archer, and I will basically show you that. So we're going to shoot the arrow at our archer, boom, and he reappears just like that. Now they're both out of invisibility, and he no longer gets that extra cloaked damage. So if we hit enter, you can see 58. That's the number. We're going to see a little less if we hit arrow and attack this guy. It's going to be a little less, and you can see based on the bar above already that this guy has dealt more damage to this guy. He has less health and he has more health. So if we move on, to showcase. Now we have three. This is the ability from the sword, so we have three moves here, and we can then just move right over to our archer here and slash down on the sword. And it's dealing more damage with that, but not with that slash ability. It just does more damage for the sword attack, not the slash attack. And if we hit enter, we can then move this guy down, and then let's move that fire wizard over one, and we can showcase, the archer is all good. We can just showcase real quick the slash ability. So there we are. And then I can quickly showcase showcase the shock instead. All right. So we'll get the swordsman out here. We'll then turn around, and this thunder slash ability will, as you can see, will go through the entire line. He's going to rush through all of them, slicing all of them, and give them the shock ability. Now I can showcase any of these extra damages just to kind of show, but the shock does something different than the other three. The other three, they just deal damage to the other guys, whereas shock does something a little different. I'm going to show you right here. So you can see there's a health bar, or actually a health indicator down here showing you how much health they have exactly left. And you can see that these guys are popping up with their health bars as well. And you can see that these guys are bleeding too. So this will all change as soon as we hit the Thunder Slash. When we hit it, you can see that he rushes forward. Oh, I guess I haven't used that, so I can see that there is a little bug, but hey, not to worry about it. That's not what I'm showing off tonight. So we have them bleeding, and you can see that there's these little purple lines telling you that they're shocked. If we hit enter, we can see down here in the bottom left, we have the shocked symbol right underneath where the health would be. Now what shocked is doing is it will not show you how much XP or your health you have. As you can see, shocked. He is no longer showing that, and you can't even hover over them to showcase the bar, which is pretty interesting. And that's basically all that I've changed so far with this game since last time. The stuff that I'm thinking about for the future would be adding more tiles so we can have a variety of different maps. And when I'm done with that, it would just then be adding more characters to the game, making this more lively, adding some art and animation to it. That's not my strong suit, but I will still try and do my best to get the art and animation to a good quality. Now, I have a 2D version of this game, and I have a 3D version of this game. So let me hear it down below if you guys have any thoughts about if I should continue doing the 2D or if I should go over to the 3D. Me personally, I really love the look already with the 3D version. It didn't take much art or animation. It's just how the lighting and whatnot works, and that is important for 3D games because it just looks so beautiful. But still, let me know if I should do the 2D or 3D version because 3D art and animation is very difficult with Blender, in my opinion. I mean, it is for me. I know others out there, they have it easy with it, but that's just them and that's just me. So, with that, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. If you like this content, please think about liking and subscribing to this channel and the video down below. Uh, with that, have a great rest of your day, and I know it's around the corner. Merry Christmas to you all.